All right. So, there are three things I did in 2020 that I don't want to repeat. There is some yard work going on in the background. I don't know if there's going to be background noise in this, but we'll see. We'll see how this comes out. Maybe I'll have to shoot somewhere else. But anyways, three things I did in 2020 that I don't want to repeat this year. First of all, say hi to Luna. What's up, Luna? You have webs, or not webs, eye boogers. Let's get started. So I'm inside my garage because there's a lot of background noise. Some guy across the street is getting some work done on his house or whatever. But anyways, so the first mistake I made in 2020 was developing a mindset of like, screw it, or you know what, oh well, it is what it is. And that mindset did a lot to detriment me or put me behind where I want to be. So for example, when 2020 started around March, April, and they locked everything down and they said 2 weeks to flatten the curve, I was on this good routine of the gym and working out, but I kind of let myself go. I was like, oh well, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. So, you know, there was a lot of DoorDash being used, a lot of Postmates, a lot of boba being drank, a lot of just junk food and desserts. And I ended up gaining actually 12 pounds that year, man. My heaviest, I was at 202.8, which is a lot for me. And it wasn't until the later half of that year, actually the day after New Year's, I started dieting. And I started to say to myself, you know, whatever happens, no matter if we're in this lockdown thing for another year or two, you know, I can't let that dictate my life. I can't let what's going on around me stop me from doing what I want to do, you know? So I started dieting the day after Thanksgiving. Actually, I'm down around like 5 or 6 pounds, which is big for me. And it just kind of, it makes me feel good. But also, had I not developed that screw it mentality of, you know, it is what it is, I can't do anything about it, I would actually be a lot closer to my goals than I am now. But, you know, you learn from it, you live from it, and let's move on to mistake number 2. So the second mistake I made in 2020 that I don't want to repeat is I didn't really take control of my own happiness. Now, what I mean by that is a lot of 2020 for me was spent on this thing. I would be chilling on the couch, on my phone. I'd be in bed on my phone. I'd be even sitting on my little gaming chair in my room on my phone. And a lot of times I'm on social media. I follow a lot of people from high school, from college, celebrities, and everyone has their opinions on stuff. Everyone has their opinion on, oh, this sports team sucks. They only won because of luck. They were cheating. Same thing applies to any political views. And sometimes there's stuff you don't really like seeing on your feed, or they don't put you in a good mood, or they take up space in your head. And I don't know why. It wasn't until the later half of the year that I realized, like, let me just mute people who, you know, kind of rub me the wrong way, or let me unfollow people. You know, it's like they're not putting food in my mouth and they're not paying for the roof on my head. So why should they deserve space in my head, you know? Like, why am I going to give them the time of day? So that's one mistake. And also piggybacking off of that, so you guys know your happiness. A lot of times, if you're gamers like me, playing multiplayer games kind of just stress you out, man. So this new Call of Duty game and other games like it, when I'm playing multiplayer, it's very seldom where I'm just playing the game and I'm like, oh man, this is fun, this is relaxing, you know? So I kind of found myself straying a little bit away from multiplayer games and going more into the single player games and just enjoying the story. I started with Cyberpunk. I played Ori and the Blind Forest, which is really, really fun. It's on Xbox Game Pass or whatever. And right now I'm playing Dragon Quest. They're all really fun single player games, and I'm sure there's other games like that, and just hobbies in general that, you know, put you in a good mood rather than doing things you don't really like. Like, let's say you're very, very competitive, and every time you go out to play soccer with, you know, the community, you get heated and you get mad and emotions rage high. You know, it's unless you're trying to become an MLS or international like football player, you know, why almost, you know, just kind of mellow out, do things that make you feel happy. And that's mistake number 2 that I wish I would have done earlier, but I'm looking forward to do a lot more this year. So finally, the last mistake I think I made in 2020 that I don't want to repeat this year is not realizing how much a clean environment, you know, affects my mood. And I realized just looking in my room right now, it's a lot cleaner than it was when I started the year. And actually, it's very easy for me to just throw clothes around everywhere and then end up with a mess. And then all I want to do when my room is a mess is just sit down and like play video games or watch YouTube on my bed. You know, I don't feel like doing anything productive, which is maybe a big character flaw, I'd agree. But also, having a clean environment makes me feel like doing stuff, makes me feel like being productive, makes me feel like, oh, what can I improve here? Maybe if I put this light structure like I have up there, maybe I could get my dual monitor set up. And you guys, if you're watching right now, you can see my setup as I'm cleaning my room. But it's just a lot of these things happen because I cleaned the clutter. And then I realized what improvements I can make. And, you know, just an improvement to how my bed is set up and where my desk is, where my chair is. Just little things like that really make a big difference in my mood personally. And I feel like they would do it for the majority of people out there. And yeah, man, we can even take this a step further just on your phone, you know, cleaning up apps that you don't use, or cleaning up your feeds on social media, cleaning up anything, man. Just clutter, I literally think, is an enemy of productivity. And that's the thing, man. So I hope you guys enjoy these 3 things. And if there are any other lessons you learned in 2020 that you're like, man, maybe I could spread some wisdom here, go ahead and leave it in the comments and I'll check it out, and I'm sure I can learn from it, and we can all learn from each other. We can all learn from each other. All right, there you go. And I'll see you guys on the next one.